Welcome to Gino's Comic to Comic podcast. And here's our man, Gino.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Gino's Comic to Comic podcast. I'm Gino. This is episode 10. Yeah, we made it to episode 10. Never thought it would happen, but we did. And before we do anything, I want to bring in the world's greatest co-host, Bubby.
What's up?
What's up, Bub? And remember, everyone needs a Bubby.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
What's up,
so I want to give everybody an update. If you've been following the show, you know that I adopted a dog recently, and how that all happened, on January 25th, my dog Autumn passed away, and my son lives with me, and we were both heartbroken over this dog passing away. And so my ex-wife kept telling the both of us that we needed to get another dog, and she talked us into contacting this dog adoption place and maybe looking into adopting a dog. Now, the most surprising thing about that, I know you're stunned, isn't that I adopted another dog. It's that I still talk to my ex-wife. Yeah, so we get along just fine. So she talked us into this. So I contact Lifesavers Animal Rescue, and it turns out that I grew up with the woman who runs it, Cindy. She's fantastic. So she says, "What are you looking for?" And I said, "Well, I'm looking for a female." And she said, "It's too bad." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, because I have this male." And she told me this sad story about how he was abandoned and everything. And I'm like, "Well, now I have to get him now after you told me that." She said, "Why don't you want a male?" And I said, "It's the neutering thing. Like, it goes against everything I believe in, to do that." So she said, "Well, we do that. So that'll be done before you pick him up." I'm like, "Well, great. If you're going to do that, then he won't be mad at me." And great. So how it's supposed to work is you're supposed to go out there, you meet the dog, and if they get along and everything, then you come back the following week, and they take care of the spay or neuter, and then you come back and pick him up. So my son and I go out to meet him, and he falls in love with us, and we fall in love with him immediately, and he did not want us to leave without him. So Cindy said, "Well, how about this? How about you could take him on a foster basis, and then you could take him, you drop him off to get it. We'll pay for it, but you drop him off to get him neutered and pick him up." And I'm like, "Oh, great. Now I have to take him to get him neutered." And he don't know you guys are the ones making me do it, so he's going to be mad at me. So that's what we ended up doing, though. So now I bring him home, and he's really awesome. But the first day I leave him home alone, I come home, and he has taken the garbage can and knocked it over and spread the garbage all over the place. I mean, on the bed, I had to wash the sheets. I mean, all over the place. And I'm not going to lie, I was pissed. And so I said something I wish I had never said, but the first words out of my mouth were, "If you're going to act like this, I'll take you back to the shelter." Now, the minute I said that, I felt terrible. And I sort of look at his eye, and I go, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I will never do that. We'll work this out. So everything was fine. So, I realized he was just suffering from anxiety from being apart from us, and I understand because I suffer from the same thing every time football season ends. So I understand it. So now I take him to the neuter clinic, and we have to wait in line. Everybody drops him off first thing in the morning, and we're all standing in line with our dog because they only let one person at a time because of COVID and all that. So we're standing in line, and he's looking at me, and he's going, "Man, I thought you were kidding about going back to the shelter. He's really taking me back to the shelter," because it kind of looked like that. And I'm like, "I swear to God, this isn't the shelter. You might rather go to the shelter than what's going to happen now." But sorry about that. I really am. So I drop him off. I come to pick him up, and he come to hot, and he's a little loopy from the drugs they gave him. And he comes out, and he's just looking at me like, "You are the biggest jerk. I thought you were cool, and you did this to me." And I'm trying to say it wasn't me, and he didn't want to hear it. So he was mad at me for about one day until I gave him his pain med wrapped in cheese, and now we're BFFs again. So everything's cool on the scooter front, and everything's working again down there. He's fine. In fact, I came up from work yesterday, and I caught him on my computer, internet dating. He was on Plenty of Fur, and trying to hook up. And I said, "Hey, go for it, man, whatever." So that's all cool. So if you want to adopt a dog and change a dog's life, you need to contact lifesaversanimalrescue.org. You could go on there. Todd will put the graphic up. You could get their number off the website, or it'll be up on the graphic that we'll have up for you. Get a hold of them and change a dog's life around. All right, so that's the Scooter story. I promised I'd keep you updated, and there we go.